Hi YouTube, it's Diane. My kids are out there playing Xbox, so they're probably going to be noisy. Oh well. So I'm here to do a video. Today is August 31st, 2019. My dogs are just barky today. I don't know what's going on. Thought I would update you on stitching progress. I really have not been in the mood to stitch. Don't know why. It's summer. Who knows? But I did do a little bit more on this one. I focused on this medallion here. And it is almost done. It's on 36 count. It's on 36 count Once in a Blue Moon by Fiberlicious. There are a lot of color changes in this one. So I have the medallion almost done. I'm basically filling in all these little flamey bits up here. There are no beads on here. And I think once that is done, then the piece, or that medallion I should say, it will be done. A lot of color changes. I had stitch night last night, and I asked some of the ladies there some advice on how to, let's see, one of the ladies was saying she had a piece. I can't remember what piece it was. It was a Just Nan piece, but I don't remember the name. She said, well, there's a lot of color changes, so she's just going to make a bunch of needles with thread, all ready to go, so she didn't have to worry about it. She could just grab what she needed. And then I pulled this piece out, and I asked them if that would work for this piece, and I think I'm going to do that, where I have a bunch of needles ready to go, because these are the colors. And, I mean, they'll look fabulous in this fabric, but, I mean, some of these colors, like these oranges here, those are two different oranges, but they are very, very close. So it's weird how often they change in the pattern, but I mean, it is the beauty of the pattern too. So that's kind of my participation in the Sal by Sunshine Stitchers. There's really no rules to that Sal, but although I think Gary makes them up. But anyway, whatever works. This is the piece that I've been focused on more when I have been in the mood to stitch. Again, nothing bad has happened or anything along that line. I mean, 11 of us had dentist appointments in the same day, including myself. 3 had cavities. Not me. I didn't have cavities. And trust me, I don't have very good teeth, so that was a huge thing for me. But those same 3 children also probably have to get their wisdom teeth out this year. So, yeah, we're not like other large families that do things. I mean, if you've ever read Cheaper by the Dozen, I can't remember their last name. I know it begins with a G. Yeah, where he did all the kids got their tonsils out at the same time. No, we don't do that. So we have to figure that all out. So sorry. Mom wants to do something and the house falls apart. He needs a nap is what he needs the most. But this is the piece I've been stitching on the most. Miss Black Swallowtail, Nora Corbett. Last time I showed it to you, I had like this part of the wing and I had some of this done, all the black. Well, here she is now. She's on 28 count Rubius by Picture This Plus. I usually stitch on 32, but this one, I saw this piece of fabric and it was one of those I had to have. And so that is where I'm at now. All the black in the wing is done, and everything that goes in these spots is metallic or beads. And then I have all of this here, same thing, everything that's open is metallic or beads. And then I'm just going to finish the DMC here in her dress and go up and do her head here and probably do the back stitching and then tackle the metallic. I like to do beading on these projects last. So, but I did order my beads. Where did I put them? Over there. I talked in a previous video about Mill Hill and they kind of cornered the market. So I put an order in with Fusion Beads. because one of the beads for that, you pay $2 for a package of Mill Hill beads. They tend, a size 11, they tend to have roughly 250 beads. Free gift. They do give me the number, so now I gotta figure out what to do with those. And yeah, fusionbeads.com, I'll link them below. Trying to not lose anything. When I placed an order, I ordered some pieces for some other projects, and I'll show you. Okay, one of the beads for that one, I get 250 for $2. Okay. Okay. This is 1,000 beads, 77 cents. Yes, I said 77 cents. And then there are 4 beads in that piece. And so what I did, because Mill Hill beads, most of them are Japanese seed beads. So I went to Fusion Beads. It's a weird label. I went to Fusion Beads and I found beads that I thought were pretty close. Because to be honest, who is going to check? Nobody. I made sure they were the same size beads. And if it was like a metallic luster, then I paid for the metallic luster. This one is metallic moss. Let's see if I have a sheet of paper so you can kind of see. I don't have a better option for lighting. It's just the way it is. Although we are looking at house plans to build our new house, just thinking ahead that if my husband, if his strength deteriorates, then we've made plans. So he said one of the things that is a must is I get a craft room. Never had one of those before. But this is metallic moss, so I think I paid like $3.85. Again, there's over 1,000 beads in there. And what was the other one? I think it was this one. I wrote them down somewhere, but I can't find my list. This one, this olive teen luster. I think this is the one that would go in the wings. I mean, those are beautiful beads. They're Japanese seed beads under the Toho name. They're size 11. I think I paid $4, but there was a sale or something. And again, I get 4 times the number of beads for twice the price. Yeah, when you start doing the math and figuring out how per bead, this is a better way for me to go. So I'm just going to slowly over time replace what I have in my Mill Hill collection with these. And I think that this is the other one. These black ones. No, that's not black. I ordered for 3 different projects, so I'm trying to figure out. I know there's one more bead for that piece, but anyway, you can get a lot more beads for your, it's these black ones. No, that's not black. You get a lot more more beads for your buck. So you could pay $2 to get 250 beads, or $8 to get 1,000, or you can spend 77 cents to get 1,000. Because those were 77 cents. Toho happened to be on sale, and maybe it was this bigger bead. Could have been these bigger blue beads. These are size 6 or 8. Again, much cheaper per bead. And I like beading. I have plenty of Miras and Noras to bead. So I will be using these a lot. And when I'm done with that particular pattern, I could post the numbers I use if somebody's interested. These size 11. Yeah, these are size 11. I think that's for a different piece. The other piece I bought beads for, I did want to show, is this one. Meridian Designs Apollo and Peacock Pheasant, which I did start. She has Swarovski crystals and Mill Hill beads. Oh yeah, this is where these beads go on this piece. You can easily find, as long as you get the same size bead, so she needs size 8 bead. I made sure I had size 8 bead. But on this one, the Swarovski crystals, this is the one that calls for 44 of them. Okay, in a Mill Hill package, you get 2 or 3 for $1.50 to $2. I paid 13 cents a bead for these versus 50 cents or more a bead. You start doing the math, and they are Swarovski, which the Mill Hill are. I just made sure that whatever this number is, or she's specific on the Swarovski, but if like Crystal Treasures, because I know that I got this one for Eris of Atlantis, which I'll show in a minute. I got this one, and they called for a Mill Hill. First of all, they were out of the Mill Hill. They called for it, but I just made sure it was the same size. This is 6mm. Just made sure it was the 6mm. Same color, same luster. 23 cents versus well over $1 or $2. And it may not seem like a lot, but I know Stephanie, Miss So Crafty, brought this up when she was working on her Enchanted Mermaid, that just the embellishments alone, not the thread, not the pattern, not the fabric, was like $150. And that's when I really started checking into this, and she was absolutely right. So Eris gets that one bead. But also on her, she calls for all Mill Hill. I have not started her yet. I found on, she uses Ice, which is 2010, Mill Hill 2010. They had this one. These glow in the dark. So I don't know how I kind of came across it, but I thought, that would be kind of fun. So I did splurge a little bit. These were $3. I splurged a little bit on these, but I use 310 in so many different projects, and these glow in the dark blue, which on her will be cool. I'll just have to remember when I have her framed on the wall. So when I get up in the middle of the night, it's like, why is the wall glowing? Yeah, I'll have to remember that, but just don't be afraid of substituting a different bead is essentially what I'm saying. I like Mill Hill. They have consistent colors, consistent products. I have beads in there that are over 20 years old, and I know I could use them in a project today, and they'd be perfectly fine. They'd be the right size. They get a little wonky, but to me, most of my patterns, I like that little bit of wonkiness because it adds character to the pattern. But just, you kind of think about it. And, see, these beads, yeah, these pretty beads. I mean, none of them I paid, and all of them, except for the Swarovski, you get 1,000 or more. So these are for either the Peacock Lady or Eris. And this one I think is for Eris. This one might be for the grape. It might be for the butterfly. So these are probably not color for color, but they're so close, no one's ever going to know. No one's ever going to know. And I wanted them for her because she was so close, or I'm getting close to a finish on her. And so I wanted the beads, and there were 4 beads called for, and I had 1 or something like that. So I'll just use that one and then use the other things to sub out for the other beads. And I have a container, and I will label it the Mill Hill bead, but I'll definitely say it's actually this. Yeah, that's what I did on Rapture. So that's my little spiel on that. Take it for what you want. You can totally ignore what I say too. Not going to hurt my feelings. But just, it's a way of enjoying our craft without, I think I'm messing these up, without totally breaking the bank. And I like my bling, as you're going to see here in a minute. Now, I do not have any finishes to show, and I haven't been in the mood to stitch. I don't know why. I just, sometimes you just get in the mood and you just don't want to stitch. I still look at my stitching stuff, watch Floss Tube, go pet the collection type of thing, or pet the stash, or whatever. I know some Floss Tuber mentioned that once, when they were kind of in a slump. But I thought, I don't want to waste the time, because I do school with the kids in the morning, and I'm usually done by 2. And then I can, I have the time. I don't want to waste it. So, my dad, a few months ago, well, probably longer than that. He goes to a lot of auctions and stuff, and he ran across someone throwing away professional style frames, literally going to throw them in the dumpster. He offered them, I think he offered him $20, and they said you can take them for 30 or something like that. So he brought a bunch of the frames over when they visited in May. They brought a bunch of the frames over, and they've been sitting in my closet, and I'm tired of stepping on them or around them. So I thought, okay, if I'm not in the mood to stitch, I've got all those FFOs sitting there, and that's Barnyard Buttons for anyone. Here, let me grab it. I've just noticed this being talked about. Anita talked about it. I think Marlene talked about it, and some other person talked about it too. This is done on the barnwood fabric. It is done in the called for floss, which I don't remember the color, and I used the buttons. I did change the verse though, to Isaiah chapter 40, verse 8. The grass withers and the flower fades, but the word of our Lord stands forever. Word of our God, word of our Lord. Word of our God will stand forever. So, yeah, it turned out really, really nice. The problem is it's a really long piece, and I bought a couple different things at the thrift store, thinking, oh, that would work to finish it, and they're either too long or too wide, or I will get to this one. But let me show you what I did. The first one I fully finished, and this is also going to go into vintage. I'm going to borrow Joan's vintage because I finished this one in 2006. The stitching was done, and it's been languishing there, waiting for me to fully finish. Oh, you know what? I have another piece I need to hang up there. I have to actually mend that one. This is Celtic Autumn, lavender and lace. This is the original colorway, and this is one of those frames that my dad paid. It was like $30 for 27 frames, or maybe it was $40 for 20. I mean, it's less than $2 a frame. All I did with this frame is I wiped it off really well. That's all I did. And I brought it out, and my son goes, "Mom, isn't that off center?" And I'm like, but her skirt goes over here. Yes, there's a lot of bling on these too, especially in that border. So yes, this is the original colorway. And you know, if when I stitched this I knew I could change the colors, I probably would have changed this to more reddish, burgundy colors. So that is the first one. It's up on my wall. It does have one little ding on the frame in the top that I could fill with wood fill. But that's all I did. I just wiped it off. And Jessie, if you're watching, this is my alma mater, University of Minnesota, maroon and gold. There you go. So we get kind of like sisters now. This is the second one I did. Celtic Noel. Oh, and that is stitched on 32 count Lugana. I think it's Lugana. At this time, this is finished in 2008. Antique white Lugana was kind of my go-to, so I'm thinking both of these are that. And Marlene was talking about when there's a border, getting it lined up. I can get it lined up vertically, but horizontally, I don't know, and it kind of dips here. But you know what? This is for me. If I was like entering this into a fair or something, I would fix it. I don't have the hanging things on the back yet. But on this, there's a lot of green and gold and red beads in there. So yeah, there's a lot of bling on here in metallic. Although I will say her patterns, there you can see the shine, the shimmy at the bottom of her skirt. The shimmer, I mean. She used to use, her patterns called for the DMC 284Z or whatever. Don't use that stuff. Just go right to Krennic or Petite Treasure Braid. Skip over the DMC metallics. Just saying. I like their other floss, but not the metallics. So again, on that frame, I just wiped it down really well. This one. This is Frosty's Carrot Caper, Glendon Place. If you can't read the words here, it says Frosty caught picking his nose. He said, the vegetable stand, picking a carrot. I have 11 sons, people. So my son's like, really? You're going to hang them on the wall? I'm like, yeah. People don't know we have 11 sons. They will get it. Now this frame, I did spray paint shiny black. Mainly, it didn't have any of that fabric stuff here. So I thought, oh, I could just spray paint it. There's a couple of frames in there. I like the style of the molding, but I don't like the color. And they have that fabric on there. And I tried to spray paint. I had a fillet that I removed from a frame. I didn't like the result, but I was watching a YouTube video and they used a certain kind of paint. And so I'm going to get that and use that. But yeah, I mean, that molding, it looks brand new. I don't know. These are probably a good 10-year-old frame, if not more. This one had some wear and tear on it. And it was mostly brown with like a black accent here, but I just spray painted the whole thing black. I thought it worked really well. I did that while I spray painted another finish, which I will show. And this was finished 2017. Now, if you thought Celtic Autumn was vintage, no. This is Angel of Spring Lavender and Lace. I finished stitching her over 20 years ago. Trying to remember if I stitched her before or after my Marine was born. It was around the time of his birth, and he's 22. So, yeah, she has a lot of beads, too. Just flowers. And the trail, and then around her, she's holding the floral garland. Yep, this is on the called for linen. I think it's 32 count Twilight Blue, whatever was called for, because Marilyn Lovett Imblum, the designer of Lavender and Lace, she used Twilight Blue linen, and there was a silver one that she used a lot. This frame, I did nothing to it. So it fit perfectly. Oh, and on Frosty, there is a couple dings on here. I need to take just a little bit of wood fill and just fill it in. It'll be fine. On Frosty, I did forget to mention, this is 28 count Cashel Blue Whisper. It's one of those printed fabrics where one side's printed and one side isn't. But yeah, I couldn't find the exact date of Angel of Spring. On these, I've stitched my initials in with a date. But I know I was stitching because I did Angel of Autumn for my oldest son, which he actually asked for Celtic Noel instead. It's Celtic Christmas or Celtic Noel. I don't remember which one it is. And then I did Angel of Summer for my oldest daughter, which she has. And I was doing Angel of Spring for my third child. But he's in the Marine Corps. He don't want to wreck it yet. This is of this batch of finishes. And I still have some in progress. In process. I just haven't had a chance to get back to either Home Depot or my hardware store and get what I need to do to finish those. I think that'll be Dance of the Roses by Lavender and Lace and Rapture by Meridian Designs. Those two are on my radar. Not to mention Nothing But the Blood by My Big Toe Designs, Summer Garden, which I had an idea for a finish and I'm totally redoing that. And there's a summer one. But I'll show those when I have them done. This one I am most pleased with. And I certainly hope that this is my thumbnail. I try and do the custom thumbnail thing, and sometimes my computer lets me do it, and sometimes it's like, you're stuck with what you got, woman. And be happy. The stitch piece is Rooster by La Di Da. The fabric is 36 count chalk latte fiberlicious. You might have seen this on Facebook because it's on Fiberlicious's webpage or Facebook page, one of the Facebook pages she has. One is, I think, just for her to post, and then one is anybody can post, and I posted on whatever one I could get to. And she really, really liked this. Now, what is this? This is from Hobby Lobby. It was 50% off, so I got paid for $10 for it. It's like a recipe book stand, because it's got the little leggy thing. So I removed the rope, which just has this simple knot. I removed that. spray painted this black, except for the back, to prove that it was this wood. This is the color it was. Spray painted it black, glossy black, the same as that frosty frame. And then what did I do here? Now this is all wood. People think that this is a metal thing. It's not. This is scrap paper that has, I was looking for scrapbook paper that looked like chicken wire, because originally I wanted to put this on like a candle stand with chicken wire behind it. I couldn't find one. Really? Anyway. This is scrapbook paper. I cut it this shape, so it was roughly rectangular. And then I burned the edge here to get this kind of waviness. So there was no straight edge at all on these three sides. Down on the bottom, it's all straight, but here it's not. And then I Mod Podged it on, a few coats, and that sealed the whole piece, and I Mod Podged the whole piece, so that's why it's so shiny. And then I let it dry really well. And then I put black rickrack here behind the piece and stitched the piece, or I already had the piece stitched, mounted it. And then this was some fall greenery thing that I was putting up just to decorate the house, and I thought, oh, that would work. And it pulls out the orange here and here. And then this rickrack I was going to have around with the black, but I couldn't get it to look right. So I said, I'll forget that. So I just kind of made a weird bow kind of shape and then hot glued it all together. And then put the rope back in. I just didn't want the rope to be black. I wanted it this natural jute color. And so this is the finish of these 5 that I really like the most. I like them all, but I like this one the most. So that's what I've been doing instead of stitching. Use my time well, hopefully. In the long run. Haul. I don't have much haul. Bought this at Stitchville last night. I said Stitch In last night. I have a couple of pieces that I'm going to do oval finishes, and I think this will work better than traditional pinning lacing, because I do like to pin and lace. And I had to get a few colors for Eris that Joann's didn't have. And scissors. I love these scissors. I love that you have to, the sheath is on them and they kind of click. I love these scissors. They're very, very sharp and they last forever. I got this magazine. I just cross stitch. I think somebody's done a flip through on this. There's not a lot I would stitch in here, but there are some good finishing ideas, or at least they're giving me some ideas. So it's not a horrible magazine by any means. Autumn salt boxes. I have summer salt boxes and now I have autumn. I don't know if I'm going to stitch them together. I plan on stitching the July one together, or the summer one together. I'm not sure about this one. And Nora Corbett Fairy Autumn Glow. Just continue adding to my collection. And that's it. I haven't done any quilting since last video. Yeah, again, I'm just not in the mood, so I thought, well, I'll do some finishing. Plans. I plan on going to Galleria with my youngest daughter. We have our hotel room booked. She's excited to go. We have to go get her some clothes because she's grown like 4 inches this year. So if you're at Galleria and you see me, come say hi. And if you're at Galleria and you share that you saw me, that's fine. I just ask you don't share my daughter's name. I want her to determine when she wants her online presence. That's all. That's all. But yeah, feel free to say hi. We're not staying at the Embassy Suites. We're staying at a hotel near there, and we'll be driving, so it's going to be a 10-hour drive. But that's okay. It's our mother-daughter weekend, and that'll give us time together. But I thank you for watching and subscribing, and if this is your first time, I should probably introduce myself properly. I'm Diane. I'm this crazy lady in Minnesota who homeschools. I have 14 children, 3 girls and 11 boys. 6 of them have graduated our homeschool. I'm homeschooling 7 because, well, actually I'm homeschooling 6 right now because my kindergartner, his curriculum is not available for me to purchase yet. It's supposed to be available this month, this coming month, and then I'll get it for him because he keeps wanting to do school. And my husband has minor health issues at this point in time that hopefully will stay minor for 20, 30 years. But yeah, I don't know what else you want to know about me. I should go through, it was Pam on Stitching Between the Lines who kind of reintroduced herself. And so I thought, you know, I should probably reintroduce myself too. But I'll do a better job of that next video. So I thank you for watching, and I've sent out all the giveaways. I'm not doing a giveaway this video. I just didn't think about it. I should have. I have stuff that I can pass the stash. But I thank you all. I love your comments, and yeah, I really, really appreciate this community. So I hope you have a good stitching day and enjoy Labor Day here in the U.S. But I can never remember where the camera is, so I'm probably looking in the wrong place. Oh, well, I'm not a professional. I'm very amateur at this. Love to y'all.